All right, everybody, welcome to 24 Slayton. Me and Joe are here, about to
What's going
talk.
on, everybody? I'm Joe.
Yeah, Joe's doing his thing, Joe's working. We're going to talk about Joe's life, see how he's doing, and then get into his business, Mr. Ritter, plumbing. So what's
Yeah.
happening, Joe? What's been up? I've known you for a minute.
I know. So none of your listeners really know me, other than probably some few friends that watch the channel. But I've been a plumber now 12 years, like since I started back when I figured out college wasn't for me.
When you were 4?
No, well, that's another story. So that we can lead up with that. We can start with that. So
Yeah.
my parents started plumbing, started a plumbing company back in '92, I believe.
Yeah.
I was just born. I was born in '91, and I always tell people that see me because I look younger than most people that I didn't have a babysitter. I had a work truck.
Yeah.
Because at one point, as a little 5-year-old or 6-year-old, I just would hop in the truck with my dad and go, and I just kind of learned the trade over the years by just being the gopher. Like, hey, go for this, go for that, go get me this wrench, and then from
Dig
there,
this hole, dig this hole.
yeah,
that
dig
hole.
this hole. Yeah, so I did. So when I was in high school, it was always the hard labor stuff.
Yeah.
I wasn't out there going selling jobs on my own, doing anything. I would be the gopher, go dig a hole, go grab these parts, just all the kind of labor stuff that you do when you start off in the trade, or if you or just a helper. And I kind of rebelled too. I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be digging trenches, Dad.
Yeah.
So I tried college. That's how I met you.
Yeah.
During that time, I was riding around with Miles, hanging out, and you were at that track the day, and we became friends. Like, we kind of hit it off right there.
Yeah. Then we started doing magazine stuff, photo shoots.
Yep. I think that was a real exciting part for me because I just didn't know what to do, and I knew that I liked photography at the time. So, and I still like photography.
Yeah.
But it seemed just like an avenue to take as a young adult looking to do something other than what I had already known to do that I could do. But I just ended up gravitating back to it after we stopped that magazine work, and then I went to do electrical because I said, you know what, Dad, I don't want to be a plumber. I want to be an electrician. And so then when I worked from 6 in the afternoon to 6 in the morning, I was done. I was like, no, I want to go hang. I mean, when you're 18, you don't have anything going on. You just go have fun with your friends.
Yeah.
Everyone's in college or living at home or working jobs that aren't really, career paths. So I just got straight into it and finished a project that took a few months, and then I realized I'm going to try college again. And then started doing lifeguarding.
Oh yeah, I remember
I was a lifeguard, and that was another fun job. And I think those are fun. Those are fun experiences because you kind of get to grow, meet people, get other different people's backgrounds in those kind of jobs because you spend a lot of time with your coworkers in those situations. So after that, Big Joe, my dad, he was like, "Hey, I got this big project. I can pay somebody to go and do all this work, or I can hire you and you can do it." And so for about a year, we did that big project. You were there, remember? We had that big,
Which one was it?
that was up in Hollywood Hills.
Oh yeah.
We ran like 100 or like 200 feet of sewer line.
And you had me drive down a road that was this
Yeah.
big with a truck that was
Up
this
a
big.
very narrow road. And all because this guy put a pool on the side of his house. The
Yeah.
city said, you know what, you're on septic. Closest septic's about 200 feet away. So we're going to make you put over $150,000 sewer line in, which that today would cost him like twice as much.
Yeah.
So he really did luck out on the time by putting that in. So the city made him pay to run a brand new sewer from the bottom of the hill around like some twists and turns.
Yep.
And then connected his sewer. And so after that was done, I was just a laborer again at the shop. Some days would be busy, some days would be slow, just like all business. And one day, all the trucks are out. I had already gotten like a couple little hand tools. We get a phone call. It's a return customer, and he's got a leak. So I just said, I don't want to sweep the floors. I'll go do it.
Yeah.
And I went and did that, and that was my first job. I'll never forget it. It was like just walked in there with a clipboard and a smile and a bag of tools in a shirt, Mr. Ruta shirt, and was like, "Hi, I'm here to do your plumbing." They took me to a leak. Luckily, it was something that was in my wheelhouse because at the time I was still not um, still wasn't like confident enough to cut open walls,
Yeah.
cut pipes open by myself without having some older plumber kind of looking over my shoulder. And then this was just a supply line that was leaking. Swapped it out, and from there I said, I'm no longer a helper, guys. I want. So I looked for. I went to our shop and we had one old truck. It had no one was using it. It was kind of just like a parts truck. We'd run and go, take from equipment from one side to the other side. I said, all right, cool. I started cleaning it out. So that's my truck. 2 weeks later, one of the guys left it, so I just took his truck because it already had all the parts, all the tools, everything I needed. And since then, I just been running, gunning as a plumber, learning, getting better. Start a little Instagram page.
Son of a plumber.
Son of plumber. Go follow me. Yeah, I mean, and then I do the plumbing stuff on the side every once in a while for family and friends.
Yeah.
And then I have another side business.
No, what happened to that plumbing job for family and friends? Friends, I think.
Family and friends.
Have they called you back yet?
So family and friends.
No,
this is what happens with family and
No,
friends.
we're waiting for somebody waiting for family to friends to come and
2 people.
clean out a sewer line over there.
Slaytons are waiting for a sewer line inspection location. And my grandma's friend called yesterday.
What happened?
My grandma's friend called yesterday. She has a slab leak underneath her cement, but she had a doctor's appointment like right when I was gonna go, so I couldn't make it over there.
Yeah.
But
my dad keeps asking, "Hey, are they gonna come and look at this?" I'm like, "Yeah, they'll be
so
here. Don't worry about it.
it's
They were already
actually
here."
perfect time because my camera locator just went out, so I have to go get that fixed. But because that camera is so old, and just because it's old doesn't mean it doesn't work good, but it's just older. We're gonna fix it, give it to another tech, and I finally get my own brand new camera, which I've been waiting for a long time.
Nice.
12 years to be exact. I always got the hand-me-down tools, so I even sold my motorcycle to get myself a new tool one time.
Oh.
So that was a fun one. Back in the day when I had a good friend who would do build-outs for trucks. I was at the shop, and I was like, "Hey, I want to get a new machine." So, okay, a new machine's $1,200. Okay, but I want you to weld up a frame and put that machine on top of my big machine, which is not something people do, because it pretty much was the equivalent of $2,700 all done.
Yeah.
So I sold my dirt bike for $2,700 and a new machine,
And it
so that my
it doesn't
back.
work, and it doesn't work, and they want it fixed.
Yes, you need to get the bike fixed, especially
Yeah.
unfortunately because my friend passed away, and I definitely need to step up and help him out on that. His son is the one who got the bike.
Yeah.
So
I told him. He said, "Just take it to him, and he can fix it."
I need to go and see them. It was in Menifee. I think it was Menifee.
That was close.
Yeah, it's at his friend's house in Menifee. So
Maybe I could have it picked up.
like that's the problem is that I have to get a hold of his wife now and his
Yeah.
son.
Yeah, just find out. Maybe we could have
Yeah.
him pick it up and just fix it.
Definitely.
He owes you.
I definitely would like that
Yeah.
to happen. I mean, I barely got the bike.
Just tell him. He listens.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna fix the bike up. I got the bike back, rode it once. After that, sold it.
Yeah.
But I love that bike. That was I remember I found that bike
When you broke
in
your leg?
Corona.
When you broke your leg?
No, before I broke my leg.
Oh, before you broke.
I found that bike in Corona on Cycle Trader. This is when you could get Cycle Trader from 7-Eleven. I'm kind of carbon dating myself right now. But you can get Cycle Trader at 7-Eleven. I used to go through that thing all the time. Hey, Dad, look, there's a Honda Odyssey. We should get this. Looking at stuff, and I had a little quad at the time. And the day they told me we could get that bike, I was so happy. It was like it was the newest bike I could find in Cycle Trader that wasn't like what it was going for. And now I know why it was going for what it was,
Yeah.
because it was an old race bike, which was only a year old, which is old in racing. But
That's good though.
so that was a fun. I love that bike. I still miss it. So I'd love to get it running and see my friend's son get it going. So let's make something happen.
Yeah, we'll work on that one. I talked to him, but he's in Florida right now.
Is he racing jet skis still?
No.
You done with that?
No, the son rides. The son's the one that's gonna fix it.
Oh, the son's gonna fix it. Yeah.
Yeah, because he took over the shop. The dad,
How's Dave doing? Dave, right?
Yeah, Dave. He's supposed to race this. He's supposed to race this weekend, and I don't know if it's this weekend, but he's gonna race in Tampa.
Motocross.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Supercross.
Supercross. He's gonna race in Supercross.
He's been doing Supercross.
How old is that dude?
30.
The son?
Yeah, son's
Oh,
30.
the son. Yeah. Okay. I thought we were talking
No,
about the
no,
dad.
no, dad, not dad. Dad's in love, lives in Texas.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
Love's a good thing.
Yeah. Is it?
You know, I mean,
yeah, it is.
you
No,
know,
it's good.
if you gotta live life, I'd rather live it for love than hate. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I'd rather be at peace and happy than angry and mad. Unless you use like that anger to
Yeah.
fuel something
Yeah.
that you love.
Yes.
So, which I might be a hypocrite because I actually thrive off of anger.
Nice. So let me see. We talked about your plumbing, and you're a plumber, son of a
Yeah,
plumber.
still a plumber, still
Yes.
plumbing.
And so when you were younger, when I first met you, not when I first met you, had a what you have, excursion, expedition,
Excursion,
excursion.
lifted excursion,
I left excursion.
2001, 7.3.
You used to drive that thing everywhere.
I love that thing. I love that thing.
Whatever happened to that?
So that was my parents' car, but when I started driving, I had a little pickup truck. That's
Oh yeah,
what you first met me
that's
in.
the pickup.
My Sonoma.
Yes.
So I love that Sonoma too. I mean, I had a couple fun vehicles. The Sonoma, I sold to my best friend, but my sister drove it.
Oh, Biggie.
Yeah, Biggie.
Yeah. I
So
remember.
Biggie had it. He's gonna be up on the podcast next.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I sold my Sonoma to him, and I kind of needed a car. So my mom and dad were like, "Hey, you can just drive the excursion around."
It was all
Since
lifted.
it just it was all
It
lifted.
was like up to your shoulder, right?
It was.
It was
It was
like
a big truck.
it was like to your chest, I think.
Yeah, it was a big. It's still big. It's even bigger now. There's 40s on it. No, not 40s. Like 38s or something. 38s on 22s.
Yeah.
And so my cousin was always telling my dad, "Hey, I love this truck. You keep saying you're gonna buy a new. You're gonna buy yourself a new one." So he just was like, "Hey, here you go. It's your time, your opportunity." Because at the time, our family was. I was an adult. I already had another car at that time. My sister was an adult, and we were kind of we were leaving the house. So my mom and dad didn't need a big old SUV with 2 kids.
Yeah.
So my dad bought himself a Raptor, which I think we were all excited for because I mean that thing is just. I mean Raptors are great trucks.
Then you bought a scooter.
And I had a scooter. Yes, yes, I would roll around on a scooter. And that was before I had before we sold the excursion. Yeah, so we actually won that scooter in a raffle. So back when Temple City used to have Temple City Power Sports.
Yeah.
My girlfriend and her dad and my dad were over there picking up a dirt bike, and there was a raffle. So my dad bought the raffle ticket and won while they were there the scooter, and it sat in our backyard for like 2 years. And I just said, "Screw it, let me get my M1." So even though I didn't need an M1, but I always wanted a motorcycle, street bike. So
Yep.
I was like, okay, let me get this M1. Went through the safety class. I even did a photo shoot
Yep.
about it back on the
Yep.
magazine.
Yep.
I think that was the one. I think that was featured in the one printout that we had.
Yeah, I think so.
And then I just rode that thing everywhere, man. I rode that thing to the beach. I rode that thing to the farthest I rode it was to the beach.
Yeah.
In the streets. I couldn't get on the freeway.
Yeah.
So, but that thing would do about 70 downhill, and I would always. I mean, I never changed the tires. I don't know how many miles I put on that thing, but I mean, when you're a college student, a lifeguard, and you only make lifeguard money at part time. That gallon and a half of a gas tank that goes for like 200 miles is the best.
Yeah, it was good. I used to drive. I used to pull up at the house.
I rode with my dad and some friends they're all on their Harleys. You know, they got the whole deal, 8 hangers. You know, they're rolling, and I'm the here I come. I rolled into the Long Beach swap meet like that one time. The Long Beach swap. We took the streets all the way, followed them, and I'm just zipping around. By the way, during that time, I had hair down to here.
Oh yeah, it was long.
And I pretty much rode that scooter like if I was a dude in Thailand or India. Flip flops,
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
my tank top and my board shorts, and I would ride that thing everywhere.
Yeah.
I miss that thing
And your long hair,
sometimes.
your long uh, lifeguard hair.
Yes, and I had a little helmet, little skull cap helmet, and it just would flow in the wind.
Dude, freaking Joe.
That was a good one, man. I really like that one. I still think about getting. Now I always look at I have a street bike because I have a Honda CB 750 78 little cafe racer that I had built, and then was fortunate enough to, well, I guess unfortunate. I was unfortunate and fortunate. So I was unfortunate to get a Harley from someone who passed away.
Yeah.
And fortunate enough to get a beautiful Harley that is well maintained, well taken care of. And I take out on special occasions only.
Yeah.
So, that one's a 2013, I believe. Might be off on the year, but that's a Road King with apes, stretch bags, all chromed out. Uh, what is that? What is that? Is it silver? They put on the sides and they use the little brushes.
Flake.
Yeah, silver flake on the bags. I mean, just a great bike overall. But the apes are a little big for me. I got hands, but yeah, I'm not flying away over here with a wingspan.
So you gotta make them a little shorter.
I feel like it would just.
No, if you cut it down like maybe 3 inches, you'll be fine. 'Cause they're still high.
Yeah. I don't know. I say it's my bike, but only because I take care of it. But it's really my girlfriend's bike because those are dad's.
And she can ride it.
She rides in the back with me. So I just I want to make it safe for the both of us, you know, and we don't go far on it. I mean, I haven't had the opportunity to because I've been so busy with work.
Yeah.
Every time I think I'm gonna have a good weekend, in the plumbing trade and emergencies, it always happens. Like you make plans for a weekend, and all hell breaks loose, and you got 2 jobs that ended up was on a Thursday, all going all the way to Sunday or Friday. You know, late night all the way to Monday, just full on repipe or broken water main for some of the bigger customers. I just had one happen last night. Yeah, water mains are blowing everywhere. So
that's
good for business.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you guys.
So I try to
if you guys need plumbing,
You're in the LA area, Mr. Rooter Plumbing. Oh, wrong one.
Mr. Rooter.
Yeah.
Ask for Joe.
Joseph.
I'm sorry, Joseph.
Yeah, for Joe, you're gonna get the boss.
Oh yeah.
And he may never show up. He's got too much going on.
So okay, we did that. The scooter that. What else did we do? We did some crazy stuff. We did trips.
Fun riding motorcycles. But we went a lot of places. Yeah. I mean, I did think if we touch on Psychopath from back in the day, you and I had some fun adventures at X Games.
Yeah. Metzer's house.
Dude, that was like, I mean, growing up, always loving freestyle motocross. Like, I had a few friends that rode dirt bikes, and then as you get older, people's parents split up. You know, I lived in LA. Everyone lived in Chino or out in Temecula somewhere. So like it was kind of hard to hang out with people, you know. So I would always like to go to those events. I used to love to go to X Games every year when I was in LA, and when I got the opportunity with you to go down there, man, it was just awesome. I was starstruck, just thinking like, man, this is so fucking cool. Like, I used to watch this guy on TV. I used to go X Game, watch this guy battle against Pastrana and anybody from, you know, Metal Militia. So that was all fun stuff back then.
Did you go to Twitch's house with me?
No, you did not take me to Twitch's house, and I'm really upset that you didn't. Okay, I have that dude's signature.
Where else were we supposed to go that you didn't go? Oh, Dodger Stadium. I took you to Dodger Stadium.
I went to Dodger Stadium.
I took you to Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, Dodger Stadium was awesome. That was, I mean, this is when Magic's crew, which is, what is the name of that company or whatever entity bought the Dodgers, right? And then that next year they had Supercross at Dodger Stadium. Yeah. And then we got to go do press day. Yeah. And I was just thinking to myself, like, this is sick. Like, I'm in, like, I love Dodger Stadium. I've been a Dodger fan all my life. And I got to walk on the outfield, which I had never even heard of anybody doing at the time. Yeah. It was like, and I got to see them cut the grass open and, like, see that it's actually just a giant putting green out there.
Yeah.
And it's actually known for some of the softest outfield in MLB.
Yeah.
At that time, I don't know if it's the same thing, but
That was crazy. When
I had a fun time.
he was explaining the whole thing of how it works, and
And then me having plumbing background, I'm like, wait, you're telling me there's plumbing, there's PVC running all across all these yards?
yeah,
Like, I was like, oh, that's really interesting. So now I have planter boxes at my own house that I set up with little PVC underneath them, got all the dirt on top, and I just hook up my hose to it, and it just saturates the roots only.
see,
So every drop counts.
nice. So now that's good. Now you learned something from Dodger Stadium.
I did that. I didn't get to learn any backflips or anything like that.
No,
Remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
I was like, can we learn how to do a backflip?
He's like, yeah. I'm like, hey, we're gonna go back whenever we went back.
We should have won.
So where else did I go? And you were supposed to go. I didn't take you. Let me see. I went to Twitch. I didn't take you there. I went to Deegan's house. Didn't take you there. I went somewhere. I didn't take you.
You knew all
You-
the cool, all the
you were-
guys that I would look up
Yeah.
to. Like,
You were busy for some reason. Why wouldn't you go to one of them?
Must have had school at the time.
Yeah, it was probably
Must
school.
have had school. Be like, Tim, I like.
Was it a
Well-
race? I took you to. Did I take you to the race with the all access pass?
Yes, at Dodger Stadium,
I
we
took-
got in. You got us passes for Dodger Stadium because I took Alexa. It was me and her.
No, but I took you to a photo thing. I wasn't in Anaheim, all access, or you couldn't go. That's where you couldn't go, huh?
I didn't go to Anaheim.
Yeah, because I got a press pass for you and you couldn't go.
Must have been working then.
Yeah.
I must have been like, I must have started working at night, or I must have had a big job. Well, if I was an electrician at the time, then I definitely was working at nights.
Yeah, electrician.
I can't remember. I didn't get paid, by the way, to do the magazine.
No.
A lot of hours.
Neither did I. So we were on
So
our way.
that's why
we were
I
on
had
our
to
way. Yes.
prioritize.
Me too. I was doing the same thing. But we're trying to make it work.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing I'm doing now. Yeah, kind of the same thing I'm doing now. But
That's how I feel with my side business. So I got a meal prep business,
Yeah, meal
business
prep.
with a partner.
how's that going?
It's going. We're breaking even right now. But we need to definitely scale up. There's a lot of successful meal prep businesses out there, and I think that our food is just as high quality as the next spot. But I'm going through a growing pain right now. I'm at this point where I need to scale up, but scaling up is like going and getting like maybe a couple more hundred clients. Like it's a big jump.
Yeah.
So, and for it to be my side business, along with my partner's side business, because he has gyms, and that's where we pull all of our majority of our clients from, the gyms. We're just kind of seeing how to structure it so that we can still be in it and be hands on, but somebody is going to be like a general manager that runs the day to day operations, because it's split between my partner and I right now.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's doing good. Like I can't complain. Other than it's hard to find help.
Yeah.
It's hard to find a good general manager right now and a good cook, because everybody, they're in high demand.
Yeah.
So I think the food industry is still affected by the pandemic.
Yeah,
If
but
we're still in a
It's
pandemic.
pretty big though. Food's pretty big because like if you get a good following on your food, then you're gonna make a lot of money. Lines are out around the corner.
But that's the thing, is ours is not a day-to-day service too.
I know, but that's what we gotta figure out.
That's why we're debating whether I'm going into a cloud kitchen or going into a storefront right now. And we're trying to figure out, like, we go cloud kitchen, we're gonna have 4 days out of the week we're not working there. Same thing with a storefront, unless our storefront ends up being. So I've seen some other concepts where it's kind of like a Chipotle, where they have like a build your own plates,
Yeah.
but they have like macros built into like option 1, option 2. So we're not a Chipotle, but I'm like, that's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah.
And the food looks great. So we're just kind of trying to figure out what our next move is on that side. So, because we are moving. Like,
What's it called?
Fresh and Fuego is the meal prep, or
Yeah.
are you talking about my meal prep, or the other meal prep?
Fresh and Fuego.
Yeah, Fresh and Fuego is my meal prep. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fresh and Fuego.
Where could they find that at?
So you can find that on our website at freshandfuego.com, or you can find it on our Instagram, which is at Fresh and Fuego, and you can go and order meals online through Instagram or the website. The Instagram has a link, an order link now, Also, if you need any help, you can go to our partners, which is Powerhouse Fitness, which is where my partner works at and he owns and operates, and all of his staff will help you on your macros that you need breakdowns on, and then pretty much set you up with your fitness needs and your fitness meals.
Powerhouse.
Powerhouse Fitness, a
Powerhouse
city of
Fitness.
Duarte, City of Ministry, and soon, I believe, La Habra. Yeah, that guy just bought a building, so we're not
Nice.
doing bad.
He's not doing bad at all, huh?
He's not doing bad. I'm not doing bad.
Yeah.
We're just trying to grow, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's a ground up kind of guy. He built everything from the ground up. I remember I went to high school with him,
Yeah.
so I just remember seeing him like post stuff on Instagram and Facebook. You know, hey guys, I'm starting a gym. Come on down.
Yeah.
And then I don't talk to that guy like for like 10 years. Then he ends up dating my sister, and now he's like part of the family. They have kids together.
Yeah. That's cool.
So
So
that's a good one.
how did you guys think of like the how did you start thinking of the meal prep? Like what was it that
So at the time, my sister was still living at home with my parents, and I mean, this guy really liked my sister, so he'd show up like every day, like literally every night. And he would put in. He'd start his work at 5,
Mhm.
work till like 8:30 or 9:30, close the gym down, and I'd see him kicking it at my parents' house around 10 o'clock. And so time would go on. Me and him would sit around. We'd be like, "Hey, we're friends from high school, and we started shooting the shit, and just kind of was cool again." And I was like, he started ordering meal preps from some chef that just kind of did it out of her house, and my sister started ordering them. So then my sister started ordering them at the time she was working for our plumbing company. Then I tried them one day and I was like, hey, these are really good. So then I started ordering them. Well, then they get a little expensive, you know. Then I'm like, I want a little bit different variety, so I checked out some other meal preps. And I mean, it's really all about convenience.
Yeah.
So, one, I don't have to look for something at 12 o'clock. If you got a microwave nearby, you just pop it in a microwave and go and eat it and go. So that's pretty much what like started my idea. Like, hey, this is like something that like I'm doing. Half of our office was ordering it from just the one chef that he had introduced us all to, and my sister had introduced us to.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's got to be something here, and she's just doing it out of her house at the time. So then me and he's like, dude, I have 600 clients. You know, if we got a quarter of those people to order once a week, we'd be doing good. I just need a facility. Well, I had an area where I could facilitate it at. And being in plumbing, you know, I understand how to build out a restaurant plumbing system, fire system. I have friends, you know, basically being in construction, you're always going to be working with other contractors. And so I had an idea of like who I could use, who I could ask for help for. And we just said, okay, let's team up. So he's like, I'll bring the clients and the know how about the macros. You bring the construction side, and we'll figure it out from there. And that's pretty much how it came to. So then we got a couple people that were interested from the gym that wanted to work. I had some family that wanted to work, and we've had a couple different employees since we started. But we've been able to really like lean it out. We had a lot of growing pains. At first, we were like, oh, we want to get all customized. We want to
Yeah.
have like, oh, you don't want rice, you want brown rice. Okay, you don't want brown rice, you want sweet potato mash. Oh, okay, you don't want no carbs. Oh, you want broccoli, but this plate usually comes with green beans. Like,
Yeah.
we were all over the board. We didn't even know what to do because we had no structure, no foundation. We were just shooting from the hips. And only one of the people that we originally hired had actually worked in upper management of a restaurant, and she was also a born in the kitchen kind of person. Her grandmother had started the company. Her mom and dad took it over. She was running the books, and then she was just like, "Hey, I want to step away from the family business." Same like me, I wanted to step away and kind of have my own thing.
Yeah.
And she helped us really kind of start ironing out everything. And then she ended up having to split up with her own family because she had siblings that were in the restaurant business too. They had a falling out, and she's like, "Hey guys, this is my last week. I'm moving to Orange County, and I won't be able to come over here to LA every week." So we're like, we thank you for everything you helped us out with. If you ever want to come back and come on,
Yeah.
we're always open. So it's been good. Just kind of trying to figure it out. It's something that's new to me always because it's like there's in plumbing. I feel like I know the basis, and there's like a basics to really know about water and gas and sewer and cooking. I don't know nothing, so I've had to do a lot of learning, a lot of late nights reading, watching podcasts on cooking,
Yeah.
watching podcasts on meal preps, on macros, how just learning how to source produce that's quality and affordable, so that I'm not dying on the back end on overhead costs.
So
So
all you have is you have salmon.
so right now we have we have one salmon, one version of salmon. We have one version of cod tacos, which are kind of just like a fish tacos, like a Mexican style. And we have like five versions of chicken. We have teriyaki, fajitas. We have a new one, it's a pineapple, like a Hawaiian chicken.
But you don't know how it tastes.
I don't. Also, yeah, I don't eat meat.
Yeah.
So when we started this, I had already been pescatarian for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I
3 years.
No, I think it was, yeah, maybe.
Because my daughter was 2.5 when we moved into our house. So yeah, I don't know what anything tastes like other than the fish, which are the and shrimp. We also have shrimp. So shrimp, salmon, cod. Okay, that's our fish side. Okay, and we have 4 meals of chicken right now, and then we have a flank steak, and then we have a pretty decent sized list. I'm trying to think of the other stuff. Turkey. So we have like a ground turkey, like a taco bowl. We have turkey meatballs, and yeah, we're working on a couple different things right now. I'm trying to put down a good list of recipes because I want to try and do like a season, not a seasonal thing, like a bi-weekly thing. Like for this 2 weeks, where we have these set meals at these set macros. Because really, part of it is the food, like the taste and the quality of the food. But really, my core audience is the fitness industry, or my core clients right now are fitness bound.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that they're meeting their goals because I want to be part of that. I want them to think, wow, not only did I put in the hard work, but also I was able to focus because now I'm not trying to buy whatever hamburger place is available next to me. I'll eat their salad or get their garden burger or whatever. Now I have my meals already ready to go.
Yeah.
So it just makes your day a lot more efficient too.
So on your meal, how long does it stay in? Like, can you keep it? Like you buy them once a week, right? So it stays for 7 days?
7 days. At the seventh day, it's time to go. You gotta eat it. If you don't eat it, I wouldn't eat it after that. I've actually have eaten one like a week and a half in.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but we don't use any preservatives. So no preservatives. It's gotta stay fresh. It's gotta stay in
Fresh and fuego.
fresh and fuego. So because it's gotta stay fresh in the fridge. Don't leave it out. Think it's gonna be good to eat. I wouldn't, at least.
You could freeze it though, right?
Yeah, you could freeze it. Yeah. So we do have breakfast too. We have pancakes, protein pancakes. We have our own version of a breakfast sandwich and our Fuego Rito burrito.
Fuego Rito.
Yeah. So that's our breakfast right now. And I'm working on a steak and eggs breakfast thing. That's going to be part of the next menu. So it's always fun for me to like get the recipes, find out what we like, and then I just like let people. My aunt is one of our cooks, so
Yeah.
me and her have a really good communication. I'll literally just text her at like 12 o'clock at night, and like send her a recipe,
Yeah.
and she'll be like, okay, I'll make this tomorrow, and she'll make it at her house, and then she'll bring it by, and I'll give it to my kids, and if my kids sign off on it, because I'm like, look, I got a 7-year-old and I got a 2-year-old. If a 7 and a 2-year-old are willing to eat it, and a grown adult doesn't want to eat it, then there's definitely something wrong with that adult. But if my 2-year-old and 7-year-old won't eat it, then I know we can't serve it.
Yeah.
So I just kind of think of it like rule of thumb on that one. That's how I feel about that.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So
So you're gonna so you're still doing that. You're still plumbing. What's your like for your plumbing? Because you're plumbing, you're taking over. Well, you're probably gonna take over from Big Joe pretty soon, or sometime soon. Or are you gonna get your own, or what are you guys gonna do there?
Um, I had started thinking a while back because my mom she's all in the background. She really is just kind of taking care of the books. The office really knows how to run itself now. Uh, my dad is a people person. He loves to be out on the field.
Yeah.
If he was in the office, he would have sold the company years ago and just said, "Forget it. I'm gonna do something else." Because he just likes to be out there. He likes to show up to your house, talk with you, learn about you,
Yeah.
get to like understand who you are. And I feel like that's me too now. I go into people's houses. First thing I do is try to break down the barrier to talk to you and just kind of relate to you, get on your same level, and help you out. And I always tell people I'm a problem solver. That's what I do. I just solve problems. If there's a problem in my way, I gotta fix it so that whatever that problem was causing an issue with, it's not there anymore. So my problem right now is how do I help facilitate my dad and mom retiring? My mom, if she had the keys to just turn over the next day, she would. She would just give us the keys and say, "All right, here you go. I'm ready to be a grandma and live my life and do what I want to do." Because she's still young. And
Yeah.
so is my dad. And I tell my dad, okay, my goal. I told him this last year, or actually, I told him this year. Well, December. I told him my goal is to retire you in 5 years. Whatever that looks like, we gotta do it. Whether it be changing marketing so that we're getting so many calls that you don't need to go out into the field and talk, whether it be training new technicians so that we can train them in the way that we like to do plumbing on the service side, then we got to do that. Whether it be redoing our whole office to automate everything, then we got to do that, which is what we have been doing. So I've been doing a lot of training this year, business training, coaching for sales, and the last 4 years, I in the company, my major role has been training apprentices. So we like somebody with no experience, but we'll take someone with experience, and that's because we don't think our way is the right way. But if you're working at our shop, it definitely is the right way.
Yeah.
So, and I've had guys leave our shop and go to other shops and tell me like, literally, I've come into problems that I've had, and I don't call my supervisor. I gave Big Joe or you a call, and I still get calls from those people, and it's cool. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, there's more than enough work to go around.
Yeah.
Plumbing is water's always gonna corrode something. Sewers are always gonna back up. I mean, there's no foolproof plan yet. Even
Roots are always gonna grow.
roots are always gonna grow. Even if you think that your plastic pipe is not gonna get a root in it, it could, and I've seen it. So, or your pipe liner is not gonna fail. I've seen that too. So there's a whole bunch of things that are gonna happen in the plumbing world. But as far as Mr. Rooter of South San Gabriel, Los Angeles, and Temecula is concerned, we're just trying to figure out how to be more efficient. We're a small shop. We got about 15 employees altogether, including 3 in the office and the rest in the field. But LA is a big city, and Temecula is a big area too. So I got 2 guys that one's trained up for Temecula. He runs all of our Temecula calls. He brought his best friend in from Moval. So CJ's been with me for almost a year. Also, because we can't get any trucks, I can't get these guys into trucks.
Yeah.
So the truck shortage. So he's ready to go, run drain line calls, run water line calls. And then I got a young guy who my little sister during COVID was like, "Hey, Dad, you are you guys hiring?" And she was talking to this guy on the phone because he was like, "I just lost my job today because the parents that I was tutoring don't want me to come over because of COVID." This kid shows up and he's smart. This guy's got all the talent when it comes to being mechanically inclined. Like, he can figure out a system. I have had to like check him a few times because he like does it his own way,
Yeah.
which isn't the wrong way. But the thing is that I can't allow bad habits to form that can cause problems. And for us, it's if a sewer line backs up and floods out a house, that's $100,000 claim all day long.
Yeah.
If a water line breaks down and floods someone's house, that's a claim too. Like, and we got to stay away from those because those things happen.
So what's the difference between? Well, like everybody's going from, we went from galvanized to copper.
Now
So
PEX.
now is it PEX? Is it PEX the thing now, or
So PEX is the thing now because it's cheaper than copper.
yeah,
You can buy a whole roll of PEX for which is 100 feet, and that's literally going to be the quarter of a cost. Might be a little bit more right now. There was a shortage, so I'm not 100% sure,
yeah,
but I would say it's going to be a quarter of the cost than 100 feet of copper. And one guy can carry like 400 feet
yeah,
of pegs, and I mean, I think you're gonna have trouble carrying 100 feet of copper by yourself,
yeah,
which is only 10 sticks of
yes,
copper at 10 foot sticks.
yeah. And the PEX is this big, and the copper's
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I like. I mean, there's different types of PEX,
yeah.
and there's different types of plastic water lines. Everyone knows PVC from sprinklers and stuff like that. It's not the best to put in your walls. I would never put it in your walls. I've seen it there. It's not something you want to do. It's easy to put together. It's like Legos. And I think a lot of the older plumbers that learned the hard way, and I say hard because it's literally just a skill that you have to learn for soldering or even threading pipe for some of the older guys, even older guys.
Yeah.
Um, they're intimidated by that newer technology. But guys like me, I know how to thread pipe, I know how to solder, I have pro press machines. Um, I don't use shark bites.
Yeah.
um, it's just something that I want to put into the market too because one, it makes me faster. And I'm still kind of old school in the way that I like my stuff straight. These cheaper companies that will charge you like $3,500 to repipe your whole house in like 2 days. Their stuff is not straight. It's like wavy through the walls. It's not like my stuff is straight with lasers. Make sure it's all nice and clean looking. Because I would like to think that if someone was to go see my work, they're not going to be like, oh yeah, the person who did this job, he didn't know what he was doing. So, and then also I have like the mindset like if I got to lead by example. So if I take the time to make sure that all my pipes are straight and all my fittings are clean, then my guys that I'm teaching, they're going to have that same habit. Hopefully they won't, get lazy in the future, but at least if they were taught the hard way the first time, then they're going to figure out and manipulate it to their own ways.
So
But
so is PVC is PEX, how long does that last compared to the copper?
I mean, PEX is going to last as long as a water bottle is going to last. It's going to be around for hundreds of years.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. And then
Yeah.
yeah,
Unless you live in an area where it freezes, you can have cracked pipes real quick because water swells or water expands when it freezes.
so that's better for
And
that's better for
even
copper.
no, so like cold areas, that's like a completely different ballgame. I've never had to deal with that. I've actually frozen pipes to cut the pipe and connect onto it, but I've never seen it where it's frozen and blown the pipe apart, except for on a truck of ours. We were doing a job up in Lake Hughes for a contractor, and we had a hydrojetter truck up there. Well, we didn't know that it got so cold in Lake Hughes that it
Yeah.
freezes, and this was in the middle of winter. So we come back the next day, all the water was all over the place, still leaking, like seeping out of the fittings they had cracked, and it had split open 2.5 inch, like steel pipe, like
Yeah.
just split it open, and we were like, "This is crazy." So we rented that truck. We had to go fix it on this. We had to fix it on site. I remember I wasn't there at the time, fixing it, but I remember having to go drywall to get all the parts, and then they put it all together. And luckily, luckily nothing got broken at the welds that
Yeah.
had the threads on it. It was all in like the valves and the hoses underneath the jetter truck. So that was a good thing. But back to your question about what's better. For me, PEX is going to be better overall because it's just as clean as drinking out of a water bottle. Like, if you get copper, you're always going to get some mineral of copper. Now, copper's not a bad mineral. I don't think it'll make you sick. At least they don't say that on the TV when they tell you to get the copper shirt and
Yeah.
the copper.
Yeah, copper fit.
Yeah, copper.
Yeah, copper fit. So copper's good for you.
Yeah, but copper is super expensive. You
Yes.
got copper cooking pans.
Yeah.
Pure copper is just it's a commodity, so the prices go up and down.
And when you weld them with copper, right?
So we actually weld them with like silver.
Silver. Okay.
Yeah, so the solder used to be lead back in the day.
Yeah, I know. That's a long
And
time.
because it would have low melting point.
Yeah.
And now, because they don't want anyone to die from lead poisoning, because they didn't learn from the Romans
Yeah.
who had lead pipes or the first, the Romans? I think it's Romans. Yeah. They got sick from lead poisoning. Um, they got rid of it here in California because it causes cancer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing. But I don't even solder anymore. I really don't. If I don't have
You
to, I
just
won't. I
really-
use I use ProPress.
Yeah.
You know, so soldering is pretty dangerous under the house if you don't know what you're doing, or an attic if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
The equipment's cheap, so it's real easy to start learning. The fittings are not that expensive. Not like ProPress. ProPress is like 5 times the cost. 190 costs me like $5 or $7 at Home Depot.
Yeah.
Versus a whole bag of 90s.
Yeah.
A 15 count bag of 90s costs that same amount in solder. So, but PEX is even cheaper. It's cheaper. The labor to put it together is a little bit easier. You just kind of have to make sure you're not cutting the pipe or any way that's uneven at the joints, because that's where you'll get a leak. And I haven't. Take it back. I have had one leak on it. I had one leak where I put it together, and it was the only time. It was like 8:30 at night. I had just gotten the parts from Home Depot so it was the only time I use Home Depot parts, and I just hate Home Depot PEX. I won't really use it if I don't have to. But you never know when those calls come in after 5 o'clock, and the 5 o'clock after that time, if you don't have it in your truck, you're at the mercy of Home Depot. But I do like that Home Depot started to carry the ProPress fittings. It's nice to have the option at like 10 o'clock at night. Well, they close at like 9:30 or 10.
Yeah.
So it's definitely saved me a couple times.
That's good. So ProPress, yeah, I seen it on your video. Son of a plumber. I see you using that all the time.
It's just way quicker.
So when you do the PEX, do you put like when you bend it? Do you bend the 90, or you put a 90 in it?
So I'm old school. I put 90s in it.
Okay.
A lot of guys cut corners and do the bends. And I've taken the class. You can do the bends, but you're supposed to. You can do 90 turns. 45 is not going to be that big of a deal. But you can do a 90 turn. You just need to make sure you're using. They have like a little bracket that they put the pipe in, and just kind of holds it from getting pinched.
Yeah.
So, because even if you pinch it, you can heat it back up with a heat gun, and it'll go back to its original form.
Yeah, like memory.
Yeah. Not muscle memory, but plastic memory. I don't know. Yeah. I have yet to do it. I seen it during training, but it was pretty cool. I liked it. I would do it if I had to.
Yeah.
Because I would hate to have a whole 100-foot roll, and in the middle there's a kink, and because I'm afraid of the kink, I cut it out and have to put a coupling there.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, but I like as least amount of connections as possible in my runs.
Yeah.
So, and that's just the way I am, because I feel like I have small OCD about that.
Well, that's good. Like you take care of what you're doing.
Yeah, I just still like to. I like to treat it like it's not my house, because if I treated it like it's my house, then I'm gonna have plumbing left and right. My plumbing has not been done at my house yet.
Most of the mechanics have the worst cars, the worst stuff.
Exactly.
Don't want to work your own. Don't want to work on your own stuff. Like I know asphalt guys at their driveways look horrible. Like
you could do this in one weekend.
You had leftover asphalt. You could have you could have did the whole thing, but yeah. It's different.
Yeah, I remember when I went under my parents' house one time. So my parents, the reason I had to move out was when I had a kid, and I was trying to save up for a house and not lease a place or rent a place. So my parents were like, "Hey, we're remodeling the house. You got to move out." So
nice.
Luckily, I was already in place.
Yeah.
To buy a house at that time, so I did, and I didn't get reamed. It was actually I probably should have bought earlier, but you can only do so much when you're like 20 something.
Yeah.
With a kid and trying to figure out life. But yeah, so I crawled under his house and I looked and I'm like, who did the plumbing here? Because it is horrible. I mean, I don't know how our plumbing drained for so many years. Literally, the drain went down and then back up in an area, and I'm like, there's no way that this was draining for all those. We never had a stoppage in the line. Like
Yeah.
in the whole since I moved in there when I was like 7, and I moved out when I was 26. Yeah, 26. So I have no idea how long. That's what 21 years or no? That's
It's Big Joe, dude. Big Joe.
something happens. It's really interesting. He's like, I didn't even do the plumbing under the house. The guys did that used to work for us. I was like, you're lucky that we didn't have stoppages over and over and over again. But I don't like calling under houses if I don't have to anymore. I was actually before I was coming here, I was like, am I gonna come do this podcast with Tim, or am I gonna crawl under my house and work on my plumbing tonight? I think I'm gonna crawl under the house. No, I think I'm gonna go help Tim. Yeah, let's go see Tim.
Yeah. Well, you told me we're coming Wednesday.
Yeah, but I'm always working on something. I
Yeah.
never stop working. I
Yeah.
literally like with having so the Mr. Router's not mine. I don't claim it to be my company yet. I'm not even like officially like an officer or anything of the company. I'm just me.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing more than I get paid for, but yet I have an attachment to it because I've seen it grow from literally being one truck and my mom and dad running it out of a house to when we moved back to LA in the 90s. Because I was living in Temecula for a couple of years at my grandparents' house over there, and my dad would come back and forth until one day he just stopped coming. He just stopped coming back to the house. Like, hey, where's dad at? So then we would go a week without seeing dad. Then we'd go 2 weeks without seeing dad. Then we went like 2.5 months, 3 months. Did something happen? Like, I was like 5 at this time. I didn't know what was happening. I just know dad wasn't showing up.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, I just can't put 100% into this and be able to drive an hour and a half back and forth. Well, an hour and a half one way, an hour and a half the other way. So 3 hours. And then in the morning it's traffic.
Yeah.
So he stood at my grandma's house here in LA. And then one day my dad's like, hey, I got this place. You're all moving back. Oh, cool. Where are we moving to? I don't even know. I didn't even know LA. I was like 6. I didn't even know what LA was like.
Yeah.
And then, I was living in Temecula at the time. Temecula was very new in the 90s still. Like, I just started school. I actually went there till I was in 2nd grade. So, like, 2nd grade, I was at a brand new school. Like, they just built it. Like, IMAX were everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, we moved back to LA. I'm like, this is not that nice, Dad. Like, where are all the white people?
Yeah.
Why is there so many Asians here? Like, I was literally like, Temecula was like I was literally the only Mexican kid and a couple handful of Filipino kids, and we all lived in the same block. So I remember that too. That was kind of a crazy thing and fun, and moving here and then just kind of like, there's really nothing to do out in like the IE. I don't know what people do out there.
Buy motorcycles.
I think, yeah, like ride motorcycles. But like, what do you do at night when you can't ride a motorcycle?
Drink. Go to the bar. That's what they do. They party. Bonfires.
I don't know. I guess we'd have to ask the dudes that live out there.
Yeah.
I have one cousin that lives out there still. Oh, two. And two that's my age.
Well, now it's different. There's all kinds of stuff to do now. There's
one of them still like just drinks and parties.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to do down in Temecula and.
Well, Old Town has always been fun to go to. It's more fun now that I'm an adult and I can hang out, have a beer there, here or there, hang out at the clubs. There's a little club down there we went to. There's like an arcade bar. That's fun. I love going to arcade bars because, I'm not spending tons of money on drinking. Now I'm spending tons of money on having a drink and trying to play pinball.
Yeah.
Did you go to like arcades as a kid?
I did when I was a kid, yeah.
Because, you and my dad are around the same age, so, like, he would tell me he grew up partially out in Torrance and Redondo Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And he would always go to that one arcade, he said, that's right there by the pier in Redondo Beach.
No,
it's not there anymore. But
there were some here. There was one in Pasadena. There was one down in East LA.
Were they big?
Yeah, they were big. There was one. We used to go and play pool at this place in Monterey Park. And they had a couple of games there, but it was mostly...
Was it on Atlantic?
Yes.
Was it the billiards?
No, it was in billiards. It was called Mr.
So that was the same one?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, so I would see that, growing up in Monterey Park.
Right next to the waterfall stairs? Yeah. Down. Yeah, we used to always go there.
Right next to the Cascades.
Well, we used to go there at first, and we used to play all the time. Then it got taken over, and we couldn't go in there no more. So we were there all the time, playing. Then it got a little less like a little less, no tables, and they just didn't want us to come in.
What was it? Was it like a gambling hall or something at
I
that
don't
time?
know, a lot of, like this that like it just became more Asian, like more Asian.
Chinese Asian?
I don't know what it were.
I feel like Japanese Asians in Monterey Park were more inviting to me than the Chinese.
Yeah, I just know that they came in
Hmm.
and nobody else can come in anymore. Just like a lot of places,
They just
it was different. It wasn't it was a
was that
pool
because you
hall.
were from East Al City Terrace at the
Yeah,
time?
pool hall and like there was everybody there before. They said bar, they would drink and play pool, and then it would be less.
My dad almost died coming out of that place. He told
Yeah.
me that guy's been in like so many car accidents. You should have a podcast with him and ask him, all right, how many car accidents have you been into and how many motorcycle accidents have you been to?
Speaking of car accidents, let's talk about you.
Oh, yeah.
You were talking to me
The-
about the one where you got rear-ended, so let's bring that one back to the
So the
limelight.
car accident, anyone listening, you should definitely inform if you have any young kids that are gonna start driving. You should try and figure out the best way to explain to them about what happens when you get into a car accident. And I think this should be part of the driving test because I was really young when this happened, didn't know, and I feel like I have long term effects from it.
Yeah.
I must have been 17, 16. Took my best friend home. He only lived like 4 miles away from where I live at. Traveled the same path every day. And so it was like 10:30 at night, sitting there at the light waiting. All of a sudden I just get slammed into the back and I'm just like, oh no. I'm in my mom's car at the time. I'm like, oh no, she's gonna kill me. But I didn't do anything. It wasn't my fault. I was just sitting there at the light. So I get out of the car. I'm like high on adrenaline. Like my body's like, what's happening? Like I'm in East LA. I'm looking around. There's no one around. So then I go and I look. It's like, hey, what's going on? The guy's passed out, like just blacked out, head into the steering wheel with a bottle of a computer cleaner. And I'm like, oh, that guy might be dead. Oh no, here. Okay, what do I do here? Okay, let me call the. What the fuck? Oh shit! Some guy comes from the back and says, "Are you all right? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good." This guy's like passed out, and music's blasting super loud. By the way, like techno. This is like 2011, 2010, maybe. So EDM was really big at the time. The guy's like, "Hey, I'm the father of this guy." And I'm like, "What? Were you chasing him down the street?" There was a liquor store across the street, and I guess he was at the liquor store, saw the accident happen, and then noticed that it was his son's car. So he's like, pull over to the side. The guy was an older man, and I'm just like a young kid. I'm thinking, okay, an adult's here. Like he's the father of the guy that crashed into me. I should just listen to him. So I pull over, get out of the intersection because I got pushed into the intersection, get out to the side. And while I'm turning the car and going to the side to pull over, I see in the rearview mirror, I see the driver gets out of the car, punches his dad, throws his dad down on the floor, and then hops in the car and drives off. And I'm like, what do I do? No, 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 come back. And so I didn't even take a photo of the crash. I didn't get a license plate number during the crash. I was just so in shock, didn't know what to do. It was my first crash that I'd ever been in. That was my fault because I did get a fender bender one time. And then the dad's like, no, 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 don't worry about it. I have all the information. Here's my phone number. And at that time, I'm a kid thinking, hey, you need to go stop him. He's high on computer cleaner. He just took off 100 miles down Whittier Boulevard. You better go get that dude. And not thinking I should call the cops, should make a report. End of the day, about 2 weeks later, finally the guy comes around. They asked me how I'm feeling. At the time, I wasn't really thinking about it because I was like, my mom's car is jacked up. Fix my mom's car. So they come out of pocket. They pay for the whole entire car to get repainted. Nothing happened in the front, but there was some little curbs rashes here and there on the car, a few little dings. It was a nice Cadillac, but my mom had a few mistakes, and so she got her whole car redone. And the guy paid out of pocket, and we didn't do an insurance claim or anything. But had I known, I would have got my back checked out. Would have had X-rays, you know. And I feel like today, I've always had back problems since a young age, and I've always felt it was because of that accident. Because I was at a standing stop, and the guy just hit me. And so that's why I said if you're a parent with the kids, you should inform them on what to do in case of an accident when they start driving or before they start driving, because you never know. You know, I was just taking my best friend home. So things happen in cars, you know. That's my fear as a parent now too. Like I just thought about the other day, like, man, like my kids could just be in a car and get hit by someone. It'd be scary. I don't have any control about it. Like,
Yep.
you could be in an intersection waiting to take a left and someone could just come and T-bone you.
I got 9 more years. Juju's driving.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't know. I'm hoping by that time cars are full self-driving. I don't know how you feel about self-driving, but I love it. I got a Ford Lightning with Blue Cruise, and it's actually the only reason I got the car is because it had self-driving.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I waited for it. And then I found out the higher end models of the F-250 and F-150
Yeah, they have it.
now have it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm cool with going electric. I think I definitely, if I had the same car payment for a nicer F-250 or F-150, like a Platinum, whatever, or I think it's the Limited now. The Limited is the highest model trim. If I had gotten that and then had to pay for gas versus not having to pay for gas now, I think I'd go with not having to pay for gas.
Yeah, I drove the Lightning, the black. We had a black one,
Nice.
so I drove it. It's pretty cool.
Quick on.
Only thing is because we're parking at a show. And I'm trying to get it onto the thing. I had to get used to it because you push reverse. Reverse is really touchy. Reverse is really touchy. Forward you can kind of cruise, but reverse it's like
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to kind of ease into it.
It's that torque. It's that like electric torque. It's
Yeah.
something. I don't even drive the car full time. My partner does. It's a family car. I got it because I like to go to the mountains. I like to go to the desert. I don't know if I'll ever take the desert, but I've taken it to the mountains like 2 or 3 times now, and I like the car for that. I like the F-150. I shouldn't even say the Lightning. I like the F-150 for the space inside, where we're just comfortable as a family. Because I was also thinking about getting the Rivian.
Yeah.
But
it's not as big inside.
It's not as big inside. It's more of like a Toyota Tacoma, which for a single guy like you probably be fine. But what I really liked about it is all the technology and the look. But my girlfriend didn't like the look, so when I was coming down and putting a reservation in, I went with the F-150 because I just knew it was an F-150. Ford's not going anywhere. Ford's not going to die. Rivian's doing really bad in the stocks right now. I know because I bought their stocks, and I just cry every day I look at it.
I did too. You told me to buy it, so I bought them. But anyways,
I thought it was going to go, bro. Well, it did. It spiked high.
It's still, you just leave it in.
I saw someone with the SUV the other day. I was talking to her. She said she loves it. So I was like, and the only reason she got her SUV, she waited for a year. And it's like the second SUV I've seen around because there's not too many of them yet. But there's a lot of the trucks out right now.
Yeah.
Especially here in California.
Well, I seen it's right there by the airport, their place. And I drove by one day on accident. And I was like, hey, all kinds of trucks. There's a lot of them. So
the SUV that's what I really wanted. I really like the SUV. One, I got kids. You know, I got dogs too, and I'd like them to all be inside. So, but the face of it, my girlfriend was down with it. She's like, I don't like the face of it. The lights? Yeah, the lights are different. Yeah. And I was like, I like them. Yeah. But they're almost the same. They're close. All the electric trucks are they're all very round in the front. No, but the Lightning and the Rivian, the lights are almost the same, except they're oval and they're round. That's the difference. One are oval and one's round, but they're still. My lights are square. They're square. Yeah, but it kind of looks the same way, like that. Kind of pattern. And then the light bar across the front. Yeah. You know what I'm excited to see? The new Cybertruck when that thing comes out. Yeah, if it comes out again. Well, they just showed them the new one because they had to scale everything down. It was way too big. Yeah. It was like a dually. Yeah, it was big. Long bed, wide, bigger than that. Yeah, it's gonna be small now. We'll see what happens. So, what about your what did you call it last time when you were driving? Anxiety, your battery anxiety. What was it? Oh yeah, range anxiety. Range anxiety. I don't have it in town in LA in like areas that are well developed. I don't have any problem with range. Like, because the chargers are literally like 20, 30 minutes. Like, if
Yeah.
I'm all the way down low, 30 minutes full charge. If I'm like, if I know I'm going between here and Temecula, like, I don't feel it. Like, I'll be, okay, cool. Like, I've come home, they're like 10 miles on the range estimator, plug it into my charger at the house the next morning, I'm ready to go. No problem. Like, and even I stop it at 80% every day because I want to keep the battery life better. That's what they told me. So they say not to charge it up every day. But now, like, if I want to go to, so the one part that I did have that was scared to take it was Havasu. I was like, when we got the truck in the summer, like, I was like one of the first couple hundred people to get it. Like, even the people at the dealership were like, "Do you know someone at Ford?" I was like, "Nope." I just put it. I remember seeing the day that they were doing the video, the reveal online, and I was like, don't care about that. Refresh, 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 refresh. Trying to get the reservation. The reservation was only $100, so I'm like, $100? Okay, even if I don't buy it, whatever. That's
Yeah.
$100. You know, to me, it's like at least I have my spot. And then
Yeah.
I found out even if you had an early reservation, you're still not guaranteed to get the model because they ended up making the Lariats more first.
Yeah.
So, which was like the mid range, because the Platinums had a couple extra bells and whistles, which I wish I knew about
Mhm.
because I really would have liked to know that I could have got a back massager in the truck because I don't drive the truck. I literally am passenger most of the time. And then when I do drive the truck, I still would have liked to have a back massager
Yeah, that'd be nice.
for the long distance that I like to go. Like, I like to go to Mammoth. So, but anyways, back to my story about the desert. So wanted to go to Havasu. We're gonna go for what's the end of the holiday? One of those holiday weekends, Memorial Day, one of the summer end of the summers. So we're like, well, we have the lightning. We've only had it for like 2 weeks. Should we take it? Like, oh, but what about the towing range? So I hadn't had any time to really mess with it. But then there's no superchargers in the middle of the desert between LA and Arizona. Like, once you get to Arizona, there's like one supercharger, but you have to be in like Havasu, Bullhead City area
They
somewhere.
don't
like
have one in
that.
Quartzsite? Oh no, that's different. That's
So they have the Tesla chargers.
Yeah.
There's Tesla chargers everywhere.
Okay.
But
So you can't use a Tesla charger?
No, you can't. But the thing is the fun part. So Tesla is getting rid of their charger. Reason being is that their charger doesn't give as much, doesn't do enough high output. Like, I think theirs is limited to 2 something, where the Electrify America, which is a CC, I think it's CCS or CSS charger, which is like the standard charger.
Yeah.
That one goes up to 450 kilowatts, I think. So Tesla got beat out, which is cool because now they're going to be changing their chargers to that kind of port. And I think what you'll see is that they've already been doing it in Europe. So in Europe, they're like, hey, there's no you have this charger, you have this charger, you have this charger. Just like they did the iPhones and C types.
Yeah, that's what
they did the same thing to electric cars. So I think right now, there's only one country. I think it's like one, which is like one of those Norwegian countries. They have all the same chargers all across the board.
My phone still has a iPhone charger.
It's not here in America, but in Europe, it's all one charger.
Look, I know, but the iPhone didn't change.
The Lightning, right? But your iPad, you have an iPad.
Oh yeah, the iPads and all that just changed.
So that they're all going.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. So, I mean, it's better for the flow of electricity or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I'm not an electrician anymore, but
how much does it cost to charge now? Did it go up?
So for me, it's free. I get free 2-year charging.
Oh,
my charger, my home charger. So when I bought the Lariat package, I got the Rapid charger, the Ford's version of the Rapid charger. They were like, oh, or they're back ordered because they have the Mustang, so they're back ordered.
Mach-E.
The Mach-E, yeah. So
I drove one of those too.
I haven't driven one. Do you like it?
Does yours have where you can push the pedal and it goes forward, let out the pedal and it's brake?
Mm-hmm. One pedal driving. The same thing with the Teslas.
That's horrible. How do you do that?
So let me tell you right now. The reason that thing is awesome, I went up to Mammoth, right? And when I was coming back down, it regenerative braked all the way down. I left Mammoth at like 287, and got down the hill at like 3 something. Like I was like, this is crazy. Like
But how do you do it? Because it was kind of confusing for me.
you just learn how to do it. So I still like am kind of like
Yeah.
you just feel it, right? You can take that off in the settings.
Yeah, I know. That's what I did. I put it on to see what it works.
But it burns more battery.
Okay.
So I don't drive, like I said, most of the time. My girlfriend, she's like, I can't get used to driving regular cars again.
Yeah.
Because I gotta use I gotta use the brake. But you also save your brakes because your motors are doing the slowing down of the vehicle.
Yeah.
So and it's pretty like instant. Like you feel it right there. So we leave one pedal on because one, the regenerative braking. Two, I want to save the brakes as long as I can.
Yeah.
So and the tires, I think it slows down. I don't think it wears the tires as much either. Because when my dad had his Tesla, his first Tesla, I think he said he went like 3 years or without changing the brakes.
Yeah.
Like that's how long they lasted. So now he's got 2 more Teslas. He has a Model Y and a Model 3.
Really?
Yeah, he went and bought 2 Teslas. So my sister needed a car, and my youngest sister started driving, so she got my sister's car. And while he was looking for a car for her, she only pays like she had a Ford Escape, a hybrid version, and that thing was like probably the best car we didn't it like fell into our laps.
Your oldest sister?
My middle sister.
Okay.
Jackie. It fell into our lap because it just happened to be someone had got it in for somebody else. They didn't like it, and from there, we were like, "Hey, we'll take it off your hands."
Mm-hmm.
And she spent like $40 on gas going back and forth from Temecula. I mean, not Temecula, from Monterey Park to La Puente for school, and that was like $40 for like 2 weeks. It was just a great car for her.
Yeah.
So my dad was like, she's like, I don't want to spend a lot of money in gas. My dad's like, do you not know how gas works? Like, it just gets more expensive.
Yeah.
And then you buy the same amount, but it keeps going up and up and up.
Yeah.
So she was looking for cars that were fuel efficient. At this time, this is the middle of COVID. Nobody's got a car. All used cars are super high. So then she waited another year. Now it's 2023 now, right? And we were doing a job, and I drove by a used car lot, and they had tons of Teslas. And they only sell Teslas. They don't do any financing. You have to have your own financing. The guy's like, I make $1,200 per sale. These cars move themselves, and I don't have to deal with financing. So you bring me the financing. Here's the price. That's the deal. That same week that we went over there, and my dad liked the Model 3. My sister saw it. She's like, okay, I'm cool with it. Like, I like it. My sister's very like, it doesn't matter. Like, she's not buying it herself. Yeah. So she's very like, sure, whatever you like. Yeah, whatever you. She's very like, she's the most nonchalant one of us all. She's the just go with the flow person. So, and the guy just got a brand new Model Y. It was like 2022, only had like 2,000 miles on it. And my dad's like, yeah, let's do that one too. Because my dad was tired of my mom driving around his Raptor. So, yeah, so that's how that just happened like last month.
Nice.
So just at the beginning of the year, in January, when we got them. So now everybody's got Teslas, except for an electric. We're going all electric, except for Big Joe. I think he's gonna keep the Raptor for another year or two.
Okay.
So, but if they come with an electric Raptor, I think he'll be right there.
Well, yours is pretty close to it.
You know what? I mean, it's all the same frame. I think the only thing that's different is the rear suspension. It's independent. I just saw someone did a Raptor kit on it out in Chino Hills.
Yeah.
I forgot what shop out there did it. It looks sick. But I don't know what it does to the range.
It would be the same.
You think so?
Yeah, they would really change.
Like, what about all the extra weight?
No, it's not that much weight.
It's a lift.
If you change off, it's not that much different. It's not that much different.
It looks like I'm going to get a Raptor kit on my
Raptor kit.
Lightning. Dude, we went in the Raptor one time. That is a very capable vehicle. We were out in Glamis, and our buddies were like, oh, let's go to the hill. It was at night. My dad's like, oh, it's too cold. I don't want to drive a Razor. Okay, we'll take the Raptor. So the first time he ever took his Raptor out to Glamis, put that thing in sand mode, bro, and we were way in the back in some deep Bulls, and I was like, dude, are we gonna be able to get out of here? And that thing was keeping up with all the little razors everywhere. I was so impressed. Didn't air
What
down.
was it? The new one or the old one?
Uh,
The V8 or the four
no,
cylinder?
he's got the six,
Okay, six.
the V6, yeah, yeah. So I mean, we went everywhere in that thing. He likes the sound of the V8.
Hmm.
He was like, yeah, I think when the TRX came out, he's like, I think I want the TRX, and I was like, why? You only took your truck to the desert one time.
Yeah.
It's been to the lake more than it's been to the desert. I was like, I think you're fine. You don't need a V8. But I mean, work hard. You want to buy things you want. Everybody was at the time the TRX was the rage. Everyone wanted one. Now they have the Type R, right, or the Raptor R with the V8. That's supposed to. Is it faster? Do you know if it's faster?
I don't know.
Did you do events for Ford? Come on, you should know some of
I
that.
know about the. I don't really know about them because I'm not a product specialist.
Oh, okay. So you got to become the product specialist next.
Then they know everything about it. I'll ask the product specialist next time. I'll say about this. What does it have?
When I bought my Lightning, so I got called right into Ford. It came like half a month earlier. I didn't even know that was coming. That was supposed to be like the next month. They gave me a call. I show up there. I'm like, I already knew everything about the truck. I've been waiting for a whole year and a half for this truck. I was like, this is awesome. So I was talking to the guy. He didn't know nothing about the truck. I'm like, hey, bro, don't worry about this one. I know about this truck. And then they try to mark that thing up like 30,000. I was like, no. It's not happening that way. I ordered it online. It's not like you guys had it here and I was like, oh, I need a truck. No, I had ordered it a year in advance. You only got it because it's underneath my reservation.
Yeah.
So got them all the way down. I paid them a small markup and got the truck off the lot that night.
Did you get the color you wanted?
So I didn't pick the color I wanted because she's the one who drives the car full time, and you know, we're not married, but I like to think if I make her happy, then I'll be happy.
Mhm.
So, I picked this silver blue that she also liked, which I was cool with, and I like it. It grew more on me now because one, I know that it's not coming out anymore. That was like the launch year edition.
Yeah.
I've only seen two other ones with it. I actually saw one with a pipe rack on top. I was like, dang, I would not buy a Lariat for the amount of money that I bought it for and use it as a work truck. But I would have bought like an XLT. The XLTs are like the base models.
Yeah.
With that's what they're trying to sell. I mean, I think like Enterprise bought like 100,000 or something like that of them. Or Sunbelt. One of them bought like a lot of Lightnings.
Mhm.
So that's why the XLT. I heard the XLTs are gonna come out a lot slower because they're fulfilling those big orders or something like that. But the color I really liked was the red, and the I think it's lightning blue.
Yeah.
And the red I had a Fusion when that red came out, and I love that red. It's like a crimson, like shiny red. But I've only seen one truck with that, and my color just kind of stick to me because I know that's my truck.
Yeah.
So until I put some rims or wheels or something on it that makes it look a little different.
Yeah, we have a black one.
I like the black too.
We have a black one, and
It's
we have
just hard to keep black.
and we have the white Mach-E.
I like the Mach-E too. I've been in one. I've never ridden one. I just been in it like the.
Yeah, we just took it back. It's gone now.
But the car I really wanted was the Bronco.
We have a bunch of Broncos.
I love that.
That's the thing we're doing right now, the Bronco Nation and all
Do you
kinds
do
of.
do you have the little you set up the little track and all that?
No, they're most displayed, but they have the tracks. I think at I'm going to KOH tomorrow, Saturday, no Sunday, and that's what they have a track for.
When I know that KOH had a that like the track, like they would let you do ride-alongs.
Yeah.
I remember that happened like X amount of years ago.
Yeah, they have it
before
again.
the Bronco came out.
They have it now
like,
for the Bronco.
I was so amped. I was like, we gotta go. Like I was still on the fence about putting in. I had waited and I was still on the fence about putting in an order because I knew how long it was gonna take.
Yeah.
And we had like a Subaru at the time, so I wasn't like in a rush. But I'm a Ford guy. I have a Ford work truck. My personal own little car that I have is a Bronco 95 Eddie Bauer. My kids are in a Lightning, so my dream car is a 69 Mach 1. If I could find one, it'd be in the garage. That wouldn't break the bank, which is just going to be reason why it's in the garage because it'll be just a frame.
Yeah.
But even they're selling like chassis for 28,000. The other day I saw a actual not a Mach 1, but a 69 Cobra Jet 428 all matching. They want 78,000 for it. come down a long way since the mid 2000s, but
That's in your top drawer.
huh?
That's in your top drawer.
No, not yet, not yet, not yet. No, that's for when I have to flee the country. And they find
Oh,
out my other side business. We're not gonna get into that. That's
okay.
off.
Yeah. Well, that was good, Joe. We talked about a lot of stuff here. Get you back in. We'll do some more stuff. We got some funny stories I know that I want to talk to you about, and some
Part two.
yeah, part two.
Part two.
Yeah, we'll
Talk
come
about
back.
AI.
Yeah, we do AI. That'll be fun. That's what I want to talk about today, but
We can get an AI. I got time.
yeah, we'll come back and do it again.
All right.
Yeah, we'll do AI next time, and
Maybe next time I will have gone into the ventures about AI that I'm trying to do.
well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That I know a lot of I have some ideas about AI, and then we'll have Jordan here. He'll talk about AI and different stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Next
Get
time,
Jordan over here.
yeah. See if he was supposed to come tonight, but Jordan, he's busy. He's busy doing nothing.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
What? Being busy?
Yeah.
No, I think he's doing gaming today. He's at a tournament.
Has he won any tournaments?
He wins on but they're
Did
not.
he make any money yet on that?
Yeah, but the money he makes, they make money, but it's not money. You know what I mean? It's
It's like small prizes.
what are you winning? That's winning money.
I won a $20 gift certificate to Circuit City. No, Circuit City's not around. Best Buy.
He wins like $100, $200, or maybe hopefully $200. I don't know, just whatever. He's having fun.
But does he split that with his team? $200?
No. On what he plays, it's by yourself.
Oh, what does he play?
He does Smash, he does Magic, and he does something else that are all just one person.
Okay.
No teams. No Call of Duty. No.
I know nothing about gaming. Like I know there's a huge market for gaming, but I know nothing about it. Like I just have never had the attention span to sit there and play games. Because I've always been helping my dad out, just doing something like walking around. Like even to the day, like my kid likes to play games. I can't watch her do it. I'm like I'm out of here.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I can play games, but I get frustrated. And the new thing about kids is watching people play games.
Yeah, I don't understand how you watch someone play Twitch, be on Twitch and watch them play.
Yeah.
And sit there for hours.
Yes, watch them play and commenting on a game that somebody else is playing. Yeah, I don't.
I mean, I think there's.
I mean, I guess I do. We do it when we watch. If you watch like football, basketball, baseball, but it's not them playing. They're playing the game, but not on a computer like this. You could be playing.
I mean, think about motocross. Like, put it in something that you love. So, like, you think, like, you watch Ricky Carmichael commentate about something in motocross, and you're like, I don't think I agree with that.
No, I can't.
But you sit there and listen.
Well, I mean, I listen to it because I'm watching the race. But if it's just, I mean, I listen to some of the podcasts about what they're doing and but I want to know what's happening, like stuff. If I'm listening to something about like the racing, it's about what happened not at the race, but behind, like coming up to the race, because they have the scoop. Before I had the scoop, I knew what was going on before races, what happened in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know that, so I'm listening to them talk to me about. Like if somebody was riding, somebody got hurt, somebody's doing this, somebody's doing that, they're changing this.
And before, when you knew the scoop, was that because you were just you were still in the industry?
Yeah, you knew the industry, and people talk. Well, everybody in that circle talks.
Is that like knowing that, is that like part of like, hey, so and so's hurt tonight, like, or like so and so might be riding slower, faster, like
no,
look out.
You don't no, because that part doesn't say if they're hurt, they're hurt. They're just not racing.
Well, guys race when they're hurt.
Yeah, but that's different. They're hurt and they're not going to do something. They don't race, but you don't know they're hurt till it's after.
Till after.
It's because then it's like kind of weakness. Kind of you show weakness.
Yeah. So like does that mean like if a top rider knew that another top rider was injured, is that going to give them the advantage in the race?
So the one rider that thinks that right guy's hurt, that guy's hurt, yes, he thinks it's something. It's an advantage because he's hurt, but say you're hurt, you're not going to tell anybody you're hurt because you're trying to hide it, because you think that it's an advantage for me. But it is an advantage. But regardless if you're hurt and you're not telling me, once you're still, it's an advantage for me.
So that's just giving. Basically you don't want to give up a mental advantage, because
Yes, because
You being
they're
hurt
yeah.
and we're in a rhythm section together, I'm just gonna think, oh, he's hurt. I can go harder than him. He's not gonna beat me to the turn.
Well, you hope so.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, is that like what happens?
Yeah, that's what they think. I don't know. You're gonna ride to your best anyway, so regardless.
You miss being in the industry ever?
No,
You just like that period's done.
that's. I mean, I know people, but it's just that the industry. No, I'm good. I'm good.
What what's the one thing that you would say you miss? Is it writing?
In that, like me racing, yes,
Yeah.
racing. That's no. Yeah, probably racing. No, that's the hardest day. Practicing, hanging out. I don't know.
I feel like there's a lot of bullshit that happens at just hanging out, just going. I mean, I've always loved writing, so
Yeah,
like,
I like
and it's
riding.
always just like it's not even so much doing the writing for
Hmm.
me. It's hanging out. It's always for me like it's been hanging out with my friends or hanging out with my dad.
Yeah.
Now I have street bikes, so we ride. We just hey, let's go here. Let's go to the beach. Let's
Hmm.
go. Let's go to PCH. Before I couldn't do that in dirt too much because he's like, hey, I can't get hurt. Like
Yeah.
he would ride. He did have a dirt bike at one time. We did ride for a little bit, but then I was a lot younger. I was like, I want to go fast. I want to jump this mountain. I want to go to the track and I want to race.
Yeah.
I think that's how we became friends because you were an older dude that knew more than I did. You helped me learn more how to ride better and safer when we would go.
And told you weren't hurt when you were hurt.
Huh?
Told you you weren't hurt when you were hurt.
No, you didn't tell me that.
I told you
You
you weren't
didn't.
hurt. I said you weren't hurt. You're good.
No, I
What?
didn't break any bones with
Yeah,
you.
well, your ankle's messed up.
Dude, I could have swore only Tim. No, only Miles was there when my ankle was broken.
Maybe. No, I thought you were hurt one day. And well, maybe when you came back. When you came back after your ankle was
Might have
fine.
been when I came back
Yeah.
because when the day that I broke my ankle, I was
Yeah,
like,
because
okay, I'm riding faster. I can jump these jumps.
Yeah.
I jumped the tabletop and come down completely flat and just completely compress. And my feet weren't in the right my right leg, my toes weren't on the pegs. The middle of my foot was. So that's why that one snapped. Because my left one was fine. But yeah. It was also not to show weakness too. Don't show weakness as a man on a track. It's not okay to go to the ER. I just think Miles didn't want to go to the ER.
Yeah, he did.
Because he was like, look, it could be broken, it could be sprained. If we go to the ER and we wait all that time, you get X-rays, and you just wasted all that time.
I just sound to drop me off. Like when I was hurt, when I was really hurt, we were going home, and I'm like, I broke my elbow when we were racing to go whatever. I got cross jumped, and I broke my elbow. And I'm sitting in the truck. I helped him load, and my elbow's hurting. It's getting swollen, so I put ice on it, and I'm sitting there driving. We're driving home, and I'm like just there, and I look at my elbow, and then I kept moving, like squeezing my arm, and I could feel it, like come apart, and I'm like. I said, you know what? We need to go to the hospital. Drop me off at the ER. He's like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, it's getting hot. I go, and then if I go like this, I could feel it come apart. He goes, all right.
I think I heard it click right now.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So he just takes me. He took me, dropped me off. I go, just drop me off. Just drop me off. Here's
What
the car.
about the time you went into the tree
That was.
and you got a concussion and you drove back?
No, that was no. Not the tree. When we went to that sand place.
Oh yes,
That was a sand place.
The nature track.
Yes, we went out there and I
you
was
took
riding.
off.
No, I was riding on the track. I was doing the laps.
Yeah, but you took off without me, and then you were gone for a minute, and I was sitting...
No, I was doing laps, and then I went over the bars, knocked myself out, and then I get up and I come back, and you're like, what's going on? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, you were gone for a minute,
Yes.
bro. I was like sitting there like, did you take off like on a train or something? Like,
Yeah, I was going night over there.
that was a good time.
And then like we're sitting there, and I'm not really where I'm at. I don't know. I don't remember a lot of stuff that day.
You drove us
Well,
back.
no, yeah, that's the thing. I'm like sitting there, and you're like, oh, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. I go, I was in no way, shape, or form should have drove, and you were like, I don't feel good. I feel
I think I was
sick.
dehydrated or something.
Yeah, you were, and then I go, well, I'll drive. I don't remember getting from the track home.
Had you told me you didn't know where you were at?
I did. I
You
told
never told me.
no. When we're sitting there, you go like, "What happened?" I go, "I don't know." And I was just sitting, like, look, you said, like, what's wrong with you? 'Cause I
I
was just,
think But I think what I meant by I think what I understood when you said I don't know was like, oh, maybe he hit like a rock or something that was in the bird. We're in nature. We're not at a manicured track. We're not at a track that's well groomed.
Yeah, but
Like
you kept
maybe
when
that's why he didn't know what happened.
no, but you looked at me like, what's wrong? Like I was just dazed. I was just dazed, like looking out, and
I
the
also had never been around someone who's got a concussion, so
yeah.
I hadn't gone through Red Cross training yet, so I didn't know CPR or anything yet, so I
Yeah.
couldn't have helped you.
Then I drive home. I drove good. We got home. We got home
Yeah,
good.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think we
I don't
drove in the
remember
fast
how.
lane.
I don't remember seriously. I don't remember. I remember like sitting there, and I all of a sudden I was sitting on the tailgate. So I don't know how I got from where I was to the tailgate.
That was in my old Tundra.
Yeah, and you were driving. You were riding when I came back, and I was sitting in the truck. And like, where were you at? And I'm like, did you go on the truck? You didn't see me? Whatever. And then after that, you were sitting down, like you were like not feeling good. We loaded up.
The fact that you remember me not feeling good, I don't even remember that
Yeah,
because I just remember like to this day I just remember like how did that guy drive us home if he didn't even know where he was at?
I didn't.
And we were on like some dirt road. Like I didn't know where
Yeah,
we were at. Like
yeah,
I just know we were in between power lines and like there was some bushes over
yeah.
here. Like where were we, like all the way in Fontana
It was
or
yeah, it
Ontario?
was off of Fourth Street. It's called the rain track, like sand. No, the railroad sand track.
Did they put a building there yet or no?
Yes.
Was a building there?
Yeah.
There was somewhere in Ontario that we used to go as kids, where everybody would. It was literally just so there was a building here, building across the street, but there was a lot, like almost like a whole mile
Yeah.
long dirt lot, and you could just ride. And there was like a little track in there. You could just ride. People would hang out, barbecue. But it was literally like just in the middle of an industrial
There was a lot of places
area.
like that before. And then
Amazon.
yeah, I'm sorry.
Amazon started taking off.
Yeah.
Darn you, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Way to kill
It was
America.
before Bezos though, but yeah, it's bad. You couldn't ride no more. They took our
Well, let's
free
hope
ride
that
places
some of
away.
those places close and they put a track inside.
That's what we need.
That's a
We
GoFundMe right now.
yes, and talk to Jeff and tell him, hey,
Who's Bezos? Yeah,
once electric bikes start, we
they are started.
no,
They're
but
not
no,
start.
once the electric bikes start and they come and we have an electric dirt bike that's good to a street bike to the regular dirt bikes, which the start could be or the new Honda, whatever it is, those will come out. Then you put an indoor track and make it like K1.
Does Husqvarna have a?
Not yet. They're making one, but it's not really good. It's more like trail bike.
I've seen the electric Honda, the concept.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, Honda, please. I still looking for. I'm still big. I'm still big. Big red team.
Yeah.
Like I've always liked Honda. That's why my
Yeah.
street bike's Honda.
I would like to do a K1. Trying to figure out how to do like a K1 or pole position with dirt bikes, and then so you get the track, and then you have bikes that you could rent.
Yeah, I think renting bikes would be awesome. Like having rentals there on site. I feel
But
like you could do it.
that's insurance though, big insurance.
Waivers and insurance.
Yeah, waivers
I
don't do nothing.
mean,
Waivers don't do nothing. That's how Saddleback closed. That's how Indian Dunes closed. That's how all these tracks closed. People sue. Saddleback closed because some kid jumped on the track backwards, got hit by a motorcycle, and then they sued the track. Insurance cut them down. I think Milestone
that's.
closed because of insurance also.
I thought someone bought the land.
Yeah, but I think the insurance was too high. I mean, there's so many places out there that they could have put that parking lot on.
Is that what it is? Just a
Yes, it's a
parking lot?
parking lot.
Because I remember you would come from the top down. Like,
Hmm.
there's no way you're gonna get a semi down there. But did they just make like a straight
Yeah, they made the
road?
road bigger, and it's the road's wider, but they had to raise it 10 feet, so they had to raise the whole thing 10 feet. So they brought in dirt, trucked in dirt 10 feet, compacted it, and then put a parking lot on it. So it's a big ass parking lot.
In City of Commerce, off the five, giant, huge lot,
Mhm.
and a warehouse right next to it. It's been empty for like it looks empty unless it's a trap house or a grow house. It looks empty. And I always think that'd be an awesome spot for a
Yeah,
track.
it would, and you can have it open 24 hours.
How many riders could you get in LA though?
A lot,
Like let's be honest.
a
Like
lot.
out in the IE, that's where a lot of riders are. Orange County, there's a lot of weekend warriors. The
L-
Valley, I know the Valley's got some riders.
There's a lot of them in LA that just can't go ride because it's too far. Takes Tom 2 hours to get to go riding. He
Yeah,
lives in Torrance.
I get that. I
Yeah.
mean, it would take us an hour 20 minutes to get to Milestone, even out Lake Elsinore.
Yeah. So now If you put a track there, you'll get a lot of people from the middle coming this way. 30 minutes, 40 minutes coming this way. 30 minutes, 40 minutes coming this way. You get a lot of people.
You should do it.
Remember when? Did you remember when they had Pomona inside the?
I never knew.
Okay.
I never knew Pomona had it until you told me when I was like, this is when we started hanging out, and I was like, Pomona has a track?
Yeah. That place used to be packed. The lights came on 10 o'clock at night. There were people there all the time.
And the racetrack is closed. Why
Well,
don't they do something
that
there?
closed down because of noise. You can only have drag races twice a year because of noise ordinance.
Dude, Winter Nationals.
Yeah, I'll be at that.
Oh, you gonna be there?
We're gonna work in that.
Can you give me some tickets?
They don't give away
No
tickets.
tickets.
They don't give away tickets. Nobody gives away tickets no more.
I haven't been to Winter Nationals forever, but I used to love going as a kid. I have all little. I think I still have them like boxed away, like the drag car, whatever you would buy, then the little collector things.
Yeah,
that was fun.
I remember my brother's friend took his kid, and I'm like, he doesn't have any air protection. He's like, no, he's good. He heard he's around Abel's car and he's of all these cars. I'm like, no, he needs air protection. So we bought we were there and we bought some headphones for him, and then everybody had earplugs, right? And they're like, we don't need this. And the first Top Fuel went by, they're like.
Dude, I love that feeling, like where your eyeballs shake and you're just like, that's crazy power.
Yeah.
Or what about the jet cars?
Yeah, but I'll put the ear protection because it's just too loud.
I definitely believe in it.
Yeah.
I feel like I've lost hearing, one, because my dad's always played music at like the highest the trucks can go in his house. Like he'll sit there and watch YouTube videos of like bands from the 80s that he loved. And when he rebuilt his house, he made sure every room had a speaker in it. So my sisters, my two younger sisters that live there, are pissed off all the time. Dad, go to sleep. It'd be like 10:30 at night. He'll be blasting like Metallica or like AC/DC.
He didn't put like switches in the room so you could turn it off.
No, so then my sisters found out how to finally do it. To like turn off their speakers in their room, in my mom's room. So. But I don't know how they never get noise complaints. I mean, for the longest time, that block, I know we're definitely the loudest family there. Like, I used to throw house parties all the time. Like, as soon as I turned 21, we had house parties all the time. When I was a lifeguard, we just partied all the time after work. Just stupid times. We did have the cops called on us one time.
That's probably Miles's family.
No,
Miles probably called like.
No, the Kovacs don't care. The Kovacs, they party too, man. Lexi used to have house parties too. Yeah, I don't even know what we got called on for. And then, you know what it was? 4th of July. So one year, this is my sister's first year in college. She comes back home, and just like everybody in college, you come back home during the holidays, right? Yeah. Our house had maybe 200 people, maybe even more. All these kids just started showing up. All these college students showed up. And I was like, I don't know any of these people. Who are these people? There's people getting on my roof. Like, I had to, had to get on as soon as... Thank God the cops showed up now that I think about it. Because when the cops got there, they shut down everything. And then I just told, like, my immediate friends, like, hey, just go kick in the house, where to kick it, hang out there. Everyone left. Then we were just having to kick back at that point. Like, there were so many people. And then everybody who came brought alcohol. We didn't buy any alcohol. So I had a fridge just stocked, and ice just stocked from what everyone brought, and they left there when they walked out. So for the rest of that summer, we never bought anything. We just drank whatever was left over from 4th of July. Lot of Bud Light. Don't miss those days, but those were fun times.
Joe.
But anyways, we'll get back on here soon.
Yeah.
We'll get Biggs out here.
Yeah.
He can definitely bring some memories back from when we used to party around for no reason.
Biggie.
One time we stood at your house with Brandy and found he thought someone was breaking into the car when the alarm went off in the middle of the night.
Yeah. For the mouse.
What mouse? Oh, let's not talk about the mouse.
The mouse that was there, all freaked out.
There was a mouse at your spot?
That's why you stood over there, because you were supposed to get rid of the mouse.
Oh, I didn't even remember a mouse.
Yeah.
That was cool. I missed that spot.
Me too. I go by, I'm sad. Every time I go by there, I'm sad.
Would you if it was still around, would you go back?
Yeah.
Yeah? Because you had the whole garage spot over there.
This would have been in the garage way better.
Oh, dude, you could totally picture that in there.
Yeah. It would have been a lot better, and I would have my stuff around it. It would look cool. It would look real cool.
Too bad we didn't know about podcasts and stuff like that back then.
Nope.
Imagine we would have started a YouTube channel when we were doing the Hondas.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been fun.
Yep. We're doing all that stuff. We could have YouTube. It would have been way better.
YouTube was still pretty young back then.
Would have been rich.
Maybe not rich.
Yeah, we would have been rich. Some of the stuff we did, we would have went viral a long time before that.
Maybe.
All the writing, all the like stuff we did, just
I think it could have been a fun web series for sure. Yeah. We just did motocross stuff.
But just talking. If we would have been talking back then, like some of the conversations we had and stuff like that would have been.
I was also very naive.
Yeah, we were ahead of our time.
Young, head in the clouds. You really do think you're invincible when you're like 20. Thought I was invincible until I broke my leg. Found out I was invincible. By the way, I did walk on that for 2 weeks before I realized that it was broken. And I went and got x-rays. They told me it wasn't broken, that it must have been a bad sprain. So then I was like, okay, he was right. Then they called me that next day. A couple hours after, said, you know what? A second doctor looked at it, and yes, that's a fracture in your leg. I was like, okay. Well, then I had to go get it cast.
Didn't you have a boot for a long time?
Yeah, I told him I didn't want to cast.
Yeah.
And I had the boot. I think the boot made the healing longer.
And you rode around your scooter with the boot?
No, I didn't ride a scooter. I don't think I ever rode a scooter. Did I? Did I ever?
You came to the house with the boot.
Invincible. Invincible. Because I remember that at that time I was still going to ELAC, and before it was like a basketball haven. And I was at the gym, and I had a volleyball class for my PE, for my general ed, and the coach said, "Hey, did that just happen?" I was like, "Yeah, I just found out it's broken." He's like, "All right, come to 2 more classes, and then like I'll just write you off for the year. Because what are you gonna do? Just sit here every day?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I showed up for those 2 classes. Like, cool, all right, sign me off, and that was it. I passed with an A+.
Nice.
And a broken leg.
That's good.
So yeah, I gotta get out here soon again. This was fun.
Yeah.
I definitely would like to do this more often.
Yeah.
If you have me.
Just come by. Let me know when. Everybody will like you. Everybody wants you to come back. They haven't even said it, but they want you to come back.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then we'll get some more subscribers that want you to come back.
Yeah. Go follow me.
Yeah.
Son of a Plumber. IG. Mr. Plumbing. I don't know what else. Do I have any more plugs? Oh, Fresh and Fuego. Go get some meals.
And then Powerhouse Fitness.
And Powerhouse Fitness.
Does he have Does he have a website?
Yeah.
Yeah, Powerhouse Fitness.
www.powerhouse fitness. It's on Facebook. It's on Instagram. I don't know. Maybe it has a Twitter. I don't know if it has a Twitter. Do people still tweet?
Yeah, that's big. That's big. Elon owns it, so it's still big. Even though they hate it, but it's funny. People are tweeting about what he's doing wrong on Twitter, so he has to be doing something right.
You know what? if I could never beat Elon because I can't work like that. That guy doesn't stop working supposedly, but at the same time, like that guy has like he's the second or the first richest man of the richest man of the person, like one of the richest people in the world.
Yeah. Okay,
not just America, not just not just the North and South American continents, the world. Like he has so much money. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna start a company that we're gonna go to space because you know what? What do you do when you have everything in the world? You go to places you don't have everything. And I'm gonna start an electric car company.
Yep.
We're gonna take a loss for a couple of years, and then I'm gonna be a billionaire. Like that guy's got FU money, and I think he should just start buying everything he wants.
Maybe.
Like, what's stopping him? Like, he could just sell all his stocks and still be like the CEO or whatever.
Well, he got rid of a bunch of them, right?
I think he had to because of taxes or something like that. Thanks, Joe Biden.
All right, Joe. It was great having you.
All right, man.
We'll come back and we'll do some more. Everybody, follow Joe.
Please.
Hit like and subscribe. 24 Slayton. We're out.